Right, we are now live. Good afternoon and welcome to another Shed Sunday. Today, it's been a cracking weekend, been out, sun's been shining here in the UK. Just getting ready to go back into another week at work. Had the opportunity to just gut the car earlier on. And as I was doing that, I cleared out some of the kit that I normally keep in there. And I thought we'd just have a little chat about stuff that I carry in the car. I'm not prepper. I'm not planning for any, apocalypse. But I'm quite often will just scoot off on a little mini adventure, and knowing that I've got some gear in the car is really useful. So what I thought I'd just talk through a few bits. There might be some gear there that you like. If it's something you've not seen before, give me a shout and I'll see if I can set up a link for what it is we've got. So I'd start off with, always got, this is a British Army canteen pouch, and in here I've just got your standard canteen set. I think the 58 pattern comes with, ram packed in here. Take that out. First of all, a little Trangia spirit burner there, but there's a pattern 58 mug. Inside the mug we've just got a little coffee bag, oil in the bag job, full canteen, litre of water in there, and a pot or metal mug to cook it in. There's a little bit more space in there, so we've got some, that's not meths, that is ethanol for the alcohol stove. And little, so we come across these. I've had this in my kit for absolute yonks, and it wasn't until we went out to Finland at the start of the year and we were doing some cooking of sausages over the fire. It's the Light My Fire, I think it's called Grandpa's Camp Fork. Really, it's bent bit of wire, but when you squeeze it together, it sticks slots in there. But ideal for doing double marshmallows. Cracking little bit of kit, saves, weighs nothing, takes up no room. Lid for the pot. It's starting to get a little bit more longer term prep. So what we've got here is a little parachutes, silk, filter bag, or possibles pouch, carrying pouch, belt loop on there. It's just a homemade job. What works really well is a filter bag. Not as good as a Milbank bag. That thick weave canvas, of course, is a much slower flow, but this will get a lot of particulate out. And then in the lid of the canteen bags, they have a little pocket specifically for these chlorine tabs. Those are the ones that come with the British Army ration packs. A couple of utensils. The Jetboil will do this really clever little set of cutlery. So it's an actual size. I believe it actually is a long handle, so you can get in the bottom of the MRE bags, but it packs down quite small. Little Cocoa Pop spoon. Don't be fun without it. And finally, you might not have seen these. This bit of kit only came out, was it this year? Might be in the back end of last year, but it's Forest Fundamentals pot hanging setup. So you get this adjustable system at the top, and you can hang that over a branch. It cinches down or it extends, and then you've got this where are we at the bottom, this loop here that will slide over any pot that you can think of, as long as it's got a lip on the side. That'll slide round and suspend it evenly up over the fire. There we go. Make a meal of that. There you go. You can see that goes around the pot. That hangs up. And yeah, so if you don't have a stove or a pot stand, again, takes no room. It saves you carving fancy pot hanging systems. It just twists up and slides in that little pocket at the front. So I mean, primarily I just use this as a canteen store, knowing that I've got a litre of liquid in there. So if I do go off on a little mini adventure, I've got some hydration with me. But what I also have is for a little bit again for the longer term, this ammo crate. I think it was a Prepper Shop one. I think it was like a tenner. It wasn't a break the bank plastic, not the fancy metal ones, but lockable. But inside here, I've got a few bits and pieces that again just make my life a little bit more easy. Well, let's start off. What we got? So the box itself, great box, waterproof seal on it. But on the top, when we get to first, some quick, easy trail snacks, cutlery for little tin of potato salad or packet instant noodles. Okay, so that's some food covered. Good length of fairly thin cordage there if I want to do a ridge line or some guy lines. You've seen the Kinder Egg pot, cotton wool Vaseline for fire lighting. So little bit more food stuff. That is the Fire Pop dehydrated meals. Of all the dehydrated meals, these are probably the only ones that I find it's not like eating a bowl of sand. Highly rate Fire Pops. No affiliation. Getting towards the bottom now. Now additional water bladder there. But the beauty of this, I think this is a 500ml, and it fits. If you do not have one of these, this is a Sawyer Mini. They're about 30 quid. A bit of a universal thread on them. Would fit most plastic bottles. Slide on like that. And there you go. And you've got a filtration system. The kit itself comes with a little straw, so you can use it as a sort of life straw style and just drink straight out of the puddle if you wish. Or if you get a big enough bladder, you can set it up as an inline system. It does take quite a bit of suck to get through. That's why I like the bags, just to sort of push it through. But as an emergency bit of kit that you can see tiny, definitely worth buying. Getting to dregs now. Little multi-tool. Now, whether this is a bit of an urban myth, I'm not sure. But apparently on Leatherman, there was a 20-year limitation on their patent. So when they made all their products, no one else could replicate them. That 20 years lapsed, and now you can get hold of some of the high-end Leathermans, but a variation of. Now, I believe this was off of Amazon. I believe the brand's called Byberry, but 30 odd quid for something that would have cost you 200. A very heavy duty Leatherman-esque Leatherman knockoff, serrated blade, normal blade, set of scissors, shears, and this one, the reason I like this, came with, so this has got a metal file, but you can swap that out for a variety of, these are sort of jigsaw blades. So you've got a multi-tool within the multi-tool, as well as all your screwdriver attachments. There's a load of sort of hex heads on there. So another great addition to the wee kit. We are about running out. We've got quite a bit of foods there. So this is the these bioethanol, what is it called? The Fire Dragon. I think it's BCB that make them. This is the folding stove that contains put that down. These little fuel tabs. So hexi blocks that used to come with the ration packs. Last October, I believe it was, they got reclassified and they now fall under an explosives bracket. So if you do have any kicking around the house, use them up or just don't shout about them. But the new sort of the alternative now is this bioethanol made out of cabbages or something, but it burns quite well. The big downside of this is, I mean, you see it comes in this little plastic container. Unlike the solid tabs, it's a gel, so whatever stove you have needs to have some sort of cup or receptacle at the bottom. Otherwise, when it's lit and the packaging melts, it just sort of pours all over the place. So a couple of those. A few more chlorine tabs. Little fire kit. So in here, I actually can't remember what's in here. We've got a load of wax card, some silver birch bark, ferro rods, a couple of weatherproof matches, a little bit of paracord, some cotton wool, just a general we will burn stuff kit. To go with the little Life Tent Mylar blanket setup, there's a couple of tent pegs there. And finally, this Gucci little bit of kit is a tiny wee rucksack to carry it all in, if you did want to go for a wander. So I actually had quite a lot of fun putting this kit together, and on a handful of occasions now, I've been at work, I've forgot my lunch, I'll dip into some of the food that's in there, remembering to restock afterwards. Cutlery's been used quite a few times, but some of this kit, to be fair, I mean, the Sawyer is going to sit there until either, you know, I'm broken down for long term, or I've gone off for a deliberate, intentional going to use this kit. Like I say, I'm not a prepper. I'm not expecting the zombie apocalypse. This is just a tiny little kit of gear that I've already used some of it, so definitely worth having it in the car. But as a just-in-case kit, well, like I say, I enjoyed putting it together, but there might be a few things in there that you thought, you know what, that's not a bad idea to have kicking about. If you do have any questions about any of the stuff that we pulled out of the box there, please feel free to give me a shout. I hope you're all having an awesome weekend. Hopefully by now the kids will be bathed and stuff, so I can go back into the house minus any chores. Yeah, hope you're all having a cracking time. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.